Hi, welcome to my Hack and Mod show. Today's guest is the SKS-D. So you like your SKS, but do not like the fixed 10-round magazine. Even more so, you really dislike the duck bill mag. So you get yourself a SKS-D that uses detachable magazine because you love to mag dump. But soon you got bored with the 30-round magazine and you got yourself a 40-round magazine. Well, after a while, you got bored with that too. So you end up buying a 75-round drum. But you soon found out it didn't fit. So today's show, I'm going to show you how to fit a drum to your SKS-D. So stick around. Okay, I'm back. Now off camera, I swapped the stock. I took that off and I put a donor stock on. Now you're wondering, why did I do that for? Well, because the neck of the drum is not long enough. It would only reach up to here. Okay. As you can see, it would only reach up to here. But it's about half an inch too short. And so, to make this fit the stock, I'm required to cut about half an inch of the wood to get this to reach the feeding position of the drum mag. And I do not want to touch this OEM stock. That's why I put in a donor stock. Now I'll tell you why I didn't want to touch this. The prices of these SKS-D has been steadily climbing over the years. I recall back in the 90s when a standard Chinese SKS was selling for $99 Canadian. I wish I bought a crate of it. And the SKS-D was selling for $129 Canadian. Okay. Now, fast forward to 2.5 decades. I just bought recently a Chinese SKS for $350 Canadian. And this, I bought the SKS-D recently for close to $1,000 Canadian. So you can see how much the SKS-D have climbed over the 2.5 decades compared to, the standard SKS. Like 3 times higher. And I don't see that stopping. Now, the reason why I know that will not stop, because about 5 years ago in Canada, a company called Kodiak Defense, they converted a bunch of Russian SKS to SKS-KD, which accepts a detachable mag. Okay, so they took a regular Russian SKS and they routed the opening here to make it wider, and they left the original catch. Actually, they attached a longer catch, but basically everything was untouched. The feeding opening in the carrier was still there, and some actually came even with a bayonet. Some had plastic stock, but generally they just basically did all the changes in here. Okay, the opening, the bolt, and the trigger FCG. And I thought when they made a whole bunch of that, that will drop the price of the original SKS-D. Guess what? It did not. People who knows SKS still wanted the original, okay? And so therefore the prices of these climb, as you know. And the price that I paid, I was happy to pay it. I mean, it wasn't a deal, but I was just happy to get one in this condition. So I was glad you pay that kind of price. So therefore, don't mess with the OEM stock, because you're required to do a fair amount of cutting around this area. Okay, so therefore I use a donor stock. Now look at this stock. It's a Russian stock. It's a beaten to hell, and it's originally even from Russia. It has been refurbished. You can tell it's factory refurbished. Look at that, like a piece they added, glued on, and there may be even a slight crack over here. I'm not sure right now. I'll have to strip all this down. It didn't come with a butt plate, and someone put a different non-SKS sling on this. So therefore, this was a perfect donor stock, because I have to basically butcher the stock to make the drum fit the SKS-D. I can see this drum will not fit because it's too wide. So I need to take about 1/8 of an inch of the inside, and I can easily do that by using a drum sander, and I will be basically sanding either side off. Okay, just the magwell area. Don't go any further than here, the duckbill side. Don't go into the duckbill side. You just need to do the magwell area. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's dusty, and I don't want my office full of dust. I'm done with the inside of the magwell, and this is what it looks like. I took off about 1/8 of an inch from either side of the magwell. Okay, and I found that this bit, Dremel bit, did a much better and faster job removing excess wood than using this drum sander. This one went really fast, and it's like took me only half an hour to do that. And if you'll notice, in the front part of the magwell interior, I angled it off this way. Okay, so angle it off downwards forward. Okay, now I'm going to try it out to see if it fits, and it does. Okay. Now I've taken care of the inside width. Now I have to get this drum higher, so I need to remove the excess wood on the bottom part here. And to do that, I need to put this back into the gun, and here I want to show you what I had cut a little bit of right there, and right on this side, right in front of the locking lug space, so these locking studs could slide in. I had to make room, and you see it slides right in. Okay, now I'm going to put it in. Okay, got that in. Now, having put that in, and I see the inside is nicely cleared. Don't take too much off, otherwise you'll weaken the wood. And now I'm going to have to make a template, use any credit card, okay, and line it up with the wood. And get a felt pen, and on the edge you line it up with this bracket for the mag cache. See this mag catch right here? That bracket right there. Line that up with that. So you take that, line it up with the wood, look from on top, and this looks about right. Okay. And take, you're going to use this as a template. Use the drum sander and like put it halfway. Okay. Use the felt pen. And follow the curve. Okay, make sure it's half. Okay, like that. Now, the front of the mag catches right here, right that spot right there, and it's in line with the trunnion. Right here, it's in line with that, it's right here. So therefore, put this back, line it up straight, put your eyeball, take the same drum sander, and okay, let's see, where is that thing? This thing is about here, and that's about there. So put the drum sander right about half an inch from the edge, but take the full length of the drum sander, like this. Draw like that. Okay, the back part is half a drum sander. The front is from the top to the bottom is a full drum sander, and you're about a half an inch from the edge. So you take a ruler and connect the half to the full drum sander. Like that. And then this, just go in a like a 45 degrees angle. Like that. So this is basically what it's going to look like. Actually, I think I'll have to move this a little bit further in. Like that. Yeah, that's better. And move it like this. So if I'm, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is the shape I'm looking for. Now you have to cut it with a scissor. And remember to cut it on the inside of the line, like this. Yeah, this is what you're gonna shape like. Okay, you need a template like that, and I'm gonna draw that onto the wood. Now try to get a, now I use the felt pen because it's thicker and it's easier to see. I'm going to do that to the same thing on this side. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Now those lines are a rough guide, and I'm just gonna take a little off at a time and keep testing the drum to see if I can stop and not remove any more wood than I have to. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with taking off quite a bit of this with a saw of some sort, and then I'm going to use a drum sander to get close to the edge of this line. Here, let me show you what it looks like at the end. See the felt marker? But first, I'm going to use a hacksaw and cut most of this off. I'll be back. So I used a hacksaw and I did series of cross cuts, as you can see there, and over here, and I can start breaking them off. It'll be a lot easier, like that. You heard it crack. That. Okay, so now I'm going to use this again and get close to the line as possible, and then I'm going to use the hand file. I'll have to use a round hand file and a straight regular file. Okay, I'm done with the cutting. It took me about an hour, and I didn't have to use any hand file or anything at all. This bit is just wonderful. That's all I used, and I just basically followed the outline. Okay, as you can see right there, and over here. The only thing, and this is the template, and I'm just gonna show you how close I did, and I actually did pretty close. If you see that, it's pretty close. Okay, the only thing I had to do a little bit different than the template, I went out a little bit further in an angle over here. Okay, let's turn it around and let's see what it looked like here. Yep, pretty close. And again, this angle towards the front downwards is a little bit more than on the template. So if you were to do it, it would be exactly like this, except go out a little further out this way. Okay, so you would be out this way, a little bit further, like this much. Alright, so always use a template. So once that was all cut and shaped, now I had to see if it works. And when I first did it, it didn't work. And I had to, first of all, let's put that in, make sure it's in that groove, and then make sure you turn this in and lock it in place. Now it fits perfectly. Okay, now I'll tell you what I had to do to make this fit. this is actually a Type 81 drum, which is very similar to the Romanian drum, except for the back catch. And I'll show you what I mean. The Type 81 drum, this part, this catch in the back, is thicker than the Romanian. So therefore, I had to file the top part of this and the bottom part of this, okay, to basically make it thinner. And what I basically did is make sure it's almost similar to the Yugoslavian Yugo mag. Okay, this is the Yugo mag, and this is the originally a Type 81, and the Type 81 back is thicker, and so I thinned it out a bit. I did it a little at a time, top part first, then the bottom, to get that to catch. Okay, now once I got that in, I couldn't close the bolt. I want to talk some more about why my bolt was getting hung up. You have to remember the SKS-D was never designed for the Type 81 drum. But this is all I have, so it was getting hung up. The bolt would not close. And the reason why is because it was hitting the top of this bracket. Okay, and this bracket holds this leaf spring that pushes the ammo to the left side of the lip. Left side of the lip is an active lip. The right side of the lip was a non-active lip. So I had to drop this down, file it a little bit, and I also had to file this right side of the lip because it was also preventing the bolt from going down. And also I had to, of course, file some of that to lower down the drum. Okay, so that's what I had to do. But if you're using other drums from other countries, you may not even have to do any of this at all. But this is all I have. Okay, you'll also notice that the stock has been painted black. Originally, I was gonna do another video and show you how to refinish a Russian stock. But unfortunately, this stock is beyond repair or refinishing. I knew there was a little crack back here, but I didn't think it was that bad. It's about 3 inches. But on the other side, it was like almost 5 inches from there to there. So there was a horizontal split. Now this split at the grip on Russian Arctic birch is quite common. So their solution was not to try to replace them, but rather make new ones. But not to repeat this using the same solid Arctic birch. What they did is they recycled the wood, made thin sheets out of them, about 1/8 of an inch, and then you also use brand new Arctic birch sheets, and then put that on a 90 degrees. You use resin and press them together, and what you would have is a laminated stock. Quite pretty, as you can see, right? And to ensure it doesn't have a vertical split, you put a pin. No pin on the Arctic birch. You can see this laminated has a pin, so you would not, to ensure there's no vertical split. This is a horizontal split. So all replacement of split stock was used. They used laminated stock to replace the split stock. Any case, so that is the reason. So I guess I'll have to make another video, to show you how to refinish SKS stock at another time. So right now, I'm going to show you how to put it on. this is not as pretty, but it'll give you an idea what it looks like, rather than the ugly junky finish it originally had. Okay. Now you slide that in. Okay. Press that down. Okay. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the original Yugo mag I had. Make sure that fits in there properly. And there. This is what it looks like with the original Yugo mag. Doesn't look too bad with that additional cut. Okay, now I'm gonna show you what it looks like with a drum. Press that. Make sure the front is seated in all the way, and it is. Okay, see, this is how it looks. Now I'm going to push it all the way back like that, and it's securely locked. And now this is what it looks like. Now if you live in the stateside, you're ready to have a 75 round mag dump. Pretty good, huh? Looks excellent. Take another closer look. Now let's check to see if you're both getting hung up, and it's not. So, thank you very much for joining me, and please subscribe.